Today I want to walk you through some of the key differences between Panther, veiled, and Jackson's chameleons, especially from a keeper's perspective. I currently own a Panther and a Jackson's, and I've also worked with veiled chameleons, so I've seen firsthand how different they can be in personality, care, and feeding behavior. Let's start with Panther chameleons. Panthers are often the most visually striking. The males especially develop incredibly vibrant colors depending on their locale. They tend to be a bit more confident compared to other species, but that doesn't mean they're friendly. They're still solitary reptiles that prefer minimal handling. In my experience, panthers can be more food motivated, which sometimes makes feeding a little easier. Now, veiled chameleons. Veils are hardy and often recommended for beginners, but that doesn't mean they're simple. They're generally larger bodied and they tend to have bigger appetites. Veils are known for being a little more defensive or reactive. They may gape, puff up, or show darker colors when stressed. They also require careful supplementation because they're prone to illnesses like metabolic bone disease if their UPB and calcium balance isn't correct. Then there are Jackson's chameleons. Jacksons are very different in temperament and environmental needs. They prefer cooler temperatures and higher humidity compared to panthers and veileds. They also tend to be a bit more sensitive overall. In my experience, Jacksons can be more cautious eaters. They may take longer to adjust to new feeders or new environments. Now, let's talk about feeder insects, because diet is one of the most important aspects of chameleon care. A good rotation might include gut-loaded crickets, dubia roaches, black soldierfly larvae, and occasionally silkworms or hornworms for hydration. Variety matters. Not only does it provide nutritional diversity, but it also keeps feeding time stimulating for them. Gut loading is essential. That means feeding your insects high-quality vegetables and nutrient-dense foods before offering them to your chameleon. Your reptile is only as healthy as what their feeders are eating. Supplementation is also key. Depending on the species and age, you'll rotate calcium without D3, calcium with D3, and a multivitamin on a schedule. Over-supplementing can be just as dangerous as under-supplementing, so consistency and moderation matter. Now, let's talk about hand feeding. Hand feeding looks amazing on social media, but it takes time. Some chameleons will never be comfortable hand feeding, and that's okay. It depends on the individual animal's personality, past experiences, and how much they associate you with food rather than stress. With patience, slow movements, and consistency, some chameleons will begin to approach your hand voluntarily. But forcing interaction or pushing too quickly can damage trust. For many chameleons, tongue feeding is a great middle ground. It allows for controlled feeding while maintaining a safe distance. At the end of the day, these species may look similar at first glance, but their environmental preferences, temperament, and feeding responses can be very different. Understanding those differences is what helps them thrive in captivity. If you enjoy reptile care breakdowns like this, especially alongside my dog and cat content, make sure you're subscribed. I love sharing realistic, responsible reptile keeping.